So all you need today for this painting that we're going to do is your primary colors of red, yellow, and blue, and some green and brown and some white, and you can put some black on there too if you want. These have really nice bristles and they're great for your trees and your bushes, and this is going to be used for your background, okay? And then we have a flat synthetic brush, chiseled edge, and I have a flat a Filbert brush, which is chiseled edge and synthetic, and I also have a liner brush. Hi guys, this is Allison Pryor. I'm going to show you, or we're going to do a painting something like this today. I find when you paint the same painting a second time, it doesn't come out exactly the same. So I just thought I would show you how to paint this lovely country landscape. It's a picture I took when I was on the road in Canada, and through my travels I took pictures, and that was one of them. So I'm just going to lay this out of the way and we'll get started. So first of all, I have this canvas is 11 by 14, just a 11 by 14 board canvas, and these are my paints. So I just got let's see, cad red, let's see, white, titanium white, and cad yellow, black, and ultramarine blue, cad red, and I'm not sure what color this, moss green, or any green is good, and burnt umber. And so we will go with those colors. I always put almost every color on red, yellow, blue for the main colors, and I always then add green and brown for extra colors, and because you can make every color from red, yellow, and blue, of course, and then you got black and white just to lighten and darken your colors, your values. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a bit of blue, the center here, a little bit of red, purple it up a little bit, and lots of white to get a really nice light blue sky. If you want a little bit more purpley, you can just add a little bit more red. Okay, so let's put that on first. It's a nice color. You can have any colors you want in your sky. I'm just going back and forth, back and forth. Basically the same thing I do in all my paintings when I do landscapes, and mostly landscapes. I gotta hopefully get some other paintings done for you, like well, I already did flowers, and I already did some fruit. I have a few requests to do some other paintings that I'm going to try and get to. One is under the water, and under the water was one. What's the other one? A bench, and what was it called? It's not a crow. Anyway, I got that still in mind, so I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do it. Some paintings are a little harder than others. Okay, so just keep putting your sky on. And if you run out of paint, you just put some more paint on your palette. Alright, so the sky looks pretty nice there now. So I'm just putting white on my, there we go, white and red and blue. Good. Just go back and forth, long strokes. Good. And let's put all that together. Let's see. I like to keep the bottom part a little lighter. I have a little bit too much blue paint there, so I always like to tell you my mistakes, because I want you to know that, you know, things happen, and the thing is, I'm doing a video, so it's harder for me to correct it right on video. But I just want you to know that if I make a mistake, I want you to know I do it. So there we go. That's a nice little sky. We'll let that dry a little bit first, and then we'll probably put some shadowed clouds in there. So while we're waiting for the sky to dry a little bit, clean off your brush. Let's put a few little bluish green. Let's put some blue and white and a bit of green together, and put a few distant trees in the background. Okay, Now, just paint a few little distant trees and just tap, 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 tap. And they're very light. They're very light. They're so light you probably can't see it very much, but they're there. Here, some more. Just a few distant trees. Like I said, we're not going to do it exactly the same as the other painting, but I'm going to use the other painting for a guide. Hopefully get something close to what that looks like. So we'll just put a few distant trees in the background. These are a little bit bigger than the ones that are on the other painting. Good. Now we're going to put some bigger trees. Bigger trees in there. Those big ones there by the house. And we may put the house in first when we get over on the other side, but let's put those couple in over here. Okay, so I just put together, I'm just using, you can use a 1-inch flat bristle brush. I have a bit of a smaller brush because I left my other bristle brush at my studio, so I have to go get one. We've been, can't even get out of the house with the big snowstorms we're having, so anyway, so let's go with some blue, a little bit of blue to darken our green, a little bit of blue, a little bit of red, and maybe a tiny bit of black just to darken it, and then green just to get those trees nice and dark. So let's put a tree over here. So just tap the shape, tap gently so that you're not punching it to the point where you just get one flat color. Okay, so you get a nice dark tree there. Add a little more black if it's not dark enough. And try not to mix your color too much. Like I find what I got done there now is not dark enough, so I'll just add some more dark colors to darken it up. So, because I like shadows. I like to start my dark colors first. All right. Good. And now we'll do another tree. And we'll just come over a little bit. And then the other tree, just get a top. Okay, there's your top. So all you need to do is a little touch. And then move out, and down and out, and down and out. Now I'm down and out now with all the snow. Down and out, down and out, down and out. Okay, so you get another tree. Maybe two. When you get those tops, then you can use those as trees. Okay, so there we go. Now, we'll be highlighting those, right? Remember, I did a video where you do 3 values of color and you do highlights, reflections, and shadows. So now we're going to put some little trees coming over here. Good. Get over as far as where we're going to have our house. So let's leave that for our house. Now, it's a barn, I guess. So it's an old barn. So we'll have to draw that out. Let's draw that out with a liner brush or a pencil or chalk, whatever you want to use to get it the way you want it, okay? So all we have to do is get some black paint for now and just draw it out. So we'll take a letter A, so I always say a letter A, and a nice letter A again. And then just come back on the top and then make another line coming out diagonally. There we go. That's all you need for now. So what we'll do is we'll paint that. We'll paint that in with some black just to get it situated. All right, so just paint it in black. I find I like to get the base colors first, and then I can go on top of them with whatever the colors I'm going to use. And you can also, you know, shape it up a bit better if you don't like the shape. Okay, so there we go. We got that much done. Now, we'll put our other trees in a little while. And, yeah, so let's put in, because we want that to dry before we put the trees in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tape off. There we go. tape is off. And now we are going to make it so simple for you. See all the grass and everything that's here? All this here. But we're going to just do all the grass first. And that makes it so much easier for you to put everything on top of that. And highlights and everything. So right now we'll just put a base color on. So just get your big bristle brush. Your 1 inch. Whatever you find is good. 1 inch, 2 inch. As long as it's flat and it's a bristle and it's got some bristles on it that open up like this. And now we'll get some, probably a green. Let's see. Let's add a little bit of blue to our green. Just a little bit. And take some green and we'll highlight that after. So let's just get all that on there now. Just tap, 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 tap. And do the whole bottom of your canvas. Now you can tap it or you can just rub it on. I'm going to tap it on to give me a look of some grass. If you put it on smoothly, you can still tap on top of it. So either way, whatever is easier for you, go ahead and do that. Just put on green and then put everything else on top of it. So I'm just going to tap mine on. I just kind of like the feel of the tapping and getting a little textured grass there. So I'm just going to go with one color, bit of green, bit of blue, to make it as simple as pie. Okay, let's see. Let's make sure that you can see this. Just tap, 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 tap. All the way down. Now I could fast forward this painting while I'm doing this because that's all I'm doing is tapping the whole bottom of the canvas. So if you want to go ahead and fast forward me, you go right ahead. I wouldn't want you to get bored. A lot of videos out there, they just fast forward when they're doing certain parts of the painting. They just fast forward so you won't get bored. But I like doing everything in real time. That way it'll show you how long it takes. It'll show you if I make mistakes and how I can fix them. So I'm putting on more. We need more green. We don't want to go too blue. Just go with the green, a little bit of blue. That will keep your paint green nice and dark. Now you can also, when you're adding green is your main color, right? So if green is your main color and you want to make a few changes, this time maybe we could add a little bit of red. Let's try that. Let's try that for a bit of fun. There we go. See how it changes the color a little bit? Good. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Now let's experiment with some colors. So we got green with a bit of blue, gives that color up there. A little green with a little bit of red gives that color there. How about green with a little bit of brown? A little bit of brown. Let's see what that looks like. Green and brown. Oh, something like the green and the red, isn't it? Because green and red makes brown. Now, green. So let's try, what else can we try? Green and, well, we know that yellow is too bright. Let's try green and blue and red. Green and blue and red. Well, that's nice. Got a kind of a purplish tone to it. Now after I tap this on, I'm going to make probably 2 or 3 videos on this one painting rather than have just one painting, one long video, because it helps give me a bit of a break too, and then I can check and make sure I get everything well prepared again. So here we go. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding green and I'm putting a bit of brown in it sometimes I'm adding a bit of, I'm not even getting fresh paint, I'm just dipping into my green and my little bit of red and my little bit of brown, but I'm not, you know, like, just go back and forth. Like, just say now we got fresh green, let's add a little bit of red to it and a little bit of brown, see what that looks like. So just experiment with the colors, because color mixing is confusing, but if the more you color mix, the more you'll get used to it. Okay? So, almost done down here now. Nice greens, look at that. If you want more, a darker color down as you get down, because we're going to make the bottom part a little darker for flowers anyway. So we'll darken it up a little bit as we come down. I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. Like I said, you can just wipe it on if you like. There we go. I find if you tap it too that the colors will separate a little bit. Gives you that textured look. A little bit of blue, a little bit of green, a little bit of red. There we go. Good. So that's it. We got our whole bottom done. Now, that's your grass. And the grass is a nice dark green. See? Now let's put some of our trees back in. A couple of trees, one there by the house and one there behind the house. So let's go with our flat bristle brush again. Sometimes I just use the one brush, except for very small details. So I'm going to dip into some green and a little bit of black. I like to add a bit of black when I'm making the very first dark trees. And I'm just going to put a nice little tree right here. That's it, just a little tree right there. And let's see, come down a little bit more, I guess. And then I'm going to add green, a little bit of black, a little bit of blue, and add another bush or a tree or anything at all. Darken these up a little bit. There we go. Now, so I'll leave that and we'll come back and we'll finish off some more stuff. Alright, so I'll let you practice that and try it out. Before I go, I'm just going to put a little trunk right here. Good. Add a little bit of white for our clouds. I'm going to do some clouds. A little bit of yellow and a little bit of blue. And then we're going to just touch the sky. Just touch and pull. And you get a nice little cloud. Touch, a little bit of tapping. And you get a nice little cloud. And you put them wherever you want. There we go. Just a few clouds floating in the sky. Touch and pull and tap. Touch and pull and tap. Touch and pull and tap. And just don't get any more paint. Just use what you have. And I'll show you what I'm doing so you can see it. Touch. And just whatever's left over in your brush, just tap it off so you get some faraway clouds. And if you want, you can take some more just the white and tap on top of what you just did to brighten them up. Brighten up a couple of them. There we go. Just tap on some clouds on top of what you already did. There we go. Now, so if you just tap lightly, you'll get some far away ones. If you just pull, you'll get a few far away clouds. And you can just rub on the bottom of them just so that they'll soften up into the sky. Just soften up the bottoms a little bit so they'll go in with the sky, look like the part of the sky. You pick up some more color. Keep it to green and yellow for your medium value. Good. So we'll just keep tapping that on until we get further down. And as we go further down, we're going to get a little darker. So a bit of yellow and green. tap it on. So now all we have to do is lighten up the top part a bit more. So we have nice bright greens, yellow. So I'm just going to tap into yellow. And my brush is still dirty. And I'm going to tap on some yellows up here. There we go. Just tap in your yellows up here at the top. Make it as yellow as you want. Nice and bright. Just tap it on. Tap, 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 tap. See how nice and thick it gets when you layer it? Keep tapping on some of those yellows. Now, the grass nice and yellow up here, and then we won't need too much more paint on our brush. We'll just continue taking it off as we go along. So that's nice and bright on top there now. Pretty. And you can always lighten it up as much as you want, because you're doing your latest value, so you can use that latest value as much as you want. There we go. I'll do a little bit over here again. I don't want to cover it up with my hand. All right. I'm just pushing it on here. I'm not pushing very hard. I'm just tapping, just little light taps. Now I'm going to take a bit of that yellow and do my third value on my trees. So a little bit more here, just very lightly. Tap on some yellow. Tap on some yellow. Get a little bit more. There we go. So, I think that should do it for that part. Get some nice brights in there. All right, see? There we go. Now, let's do something with the house. So let's take our roof of our house. So you can see the roof of the house. All right, we'll paint that a dark red. So take some red paint. Red paint, and let's see, what can we put in there? A little bit of brown. Let's try that. red and brown. I never even mixed it together, I just put it on there. And it's an old barn, so the roof of the barn's gone right down to the grass. It's just a dark red for now. We'll lighten it up as we go. Alright, we may need another coat of that. So just put a couple of coats of red on there over what you just did. Because the paint is wet, it'll probably just go back to the same color. So we'll wait for that to dry a little bit. And now on the front of the house, we'll just paint it black. Just black. My brush is dirty, so it's okay. Let's get the front of the house painted black. I just got a small, flat, chiseled edge brush. Find it easier to work with. There we go. If we go down to our grass too much, we can always put more grass back there. Good. Oops. A little crooked there on the edge. Let's see if I can close that up for it. Let's go a little closer. Let's try that. A little bit closer there for you. Now I'll straighten up our house with our bit of black. Our old barn. A little bit of an edge on it. Like I said, this is a chiseled edge brush. Now we get that much done. We let that dry a little bit. And what we'll do next is we will, while the grass is drying a little bit there now, we can lighten up a little bit more grass. I'm going to add a bit of white to my yellow this time. Just a tiny bit. Just so we can make it nice and bright here by the barn. A little bit more. And then we're going to add a bit of lights going on there, and a little bit over here, and just tap that on there. Just tap that on there. Just trying to lighten up the grass for you so that gives it nice lights and darks together. Gives it an interest. Just tap, 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 tap. And then just blend the bottom of it with the rest of the grass by tapping with whatever you have left over in your brush. That's all you have to do. Good. Good, good, good. Here we go. Now, let's take some highlights for our tree that we did over here. Our little tree. So we'll put a little bit of white and a little bit of brown together. A bit of white, a little bit of brown. Just a little bit of white, a little bit of brown. Take that little bit of highlights and put it on the edge of the tree. Now, if you put too much on, you just go back with a little bit of brown and rub it over it a little bit. There we go. So now we're going to take the front of our barn and we are going to just don't want it to get blurry. So I'm going to take a bit of white on your chiseled edge brush that you had. Clean it off so it's not too dirty. I'm going to take a bit of a white and some and make it a little bit of a grayish white color. And then you're going to not have too much paint on your brush, just a little bit of paint, and you're going to drag it down like that to make it look like all weathered wood. There we go. So just get some more paint if you need it, and touch and pull. There we go. Gives it a weathered look. An old weathered barn. Don't want to lose too much of my black. Now you can take your brush and put it in some black paint. Put in some black paint and touch where your barn door is going to go and pull down. Now the paint is wet, so it's not as black as I'd like to have it, but when it dries, we'll go back over that again. So while we're waiting for that to dry a little bit, why don't we take the roof of the house and add some more, a little bit of red. Just brighten up the roof a little bit. A little bit of red. We'll put some highlights on that now. There we go. Now we'll put a little bit of a yellow in with our red. And just do the edge of the barn. And just pull it back into the red. And we'll do the other edge, a little bit of red, add a little bit of yellow. And then we will highlight the other edge. There we go. Good. Pull it back into the roof. Lighten it up a little bit for you. Let's see if we can get that black door going there. Pure black. Same brush. Oh yeah, let's get a little better. Alright, so now you're going to take your black again. And this time, you're going to go underneath the edge of the roof there. Put a shadow underneath there. And then just drag it down into your cabin just so it looks like this. So we'll do some more highlighting there because that's a bit wet, so it's hard to get the highlights there on that. Now, finish off our painting now, our farmhouse landscape, and we're going to do the bottom part of it there. And as you can see, I have some farm animals in there. They're cute. So how you get your farm animals is you look up some farm animals and draw them out on a piece of paper, freehand. If you can get some free clip art or something, you can probably trace them on a piece of paper like this, just a piece of paper. And you draw them yourself, and then when you're ready to put your farm animals on, so you have to size them, make sure you get the right sizes so they'll fit the painting. And then when you get that done, then you just take it and lay it on your painting that you want to do, and make sure everything's dry, and put a bit of carbon paper underneath and trace it, because doing it on paper first will help you get the shapes properly rather than try to do it on your painting, and you'll probably ruin your painting. So the farm animals can go very last, and right now I'm going to show you how to do these nice fence posts. Let's do that first. Now, we have the bottom of our canvas nice and dark for our flowers. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do our fence, and all you have to do is let's get some brush that we think will fit the fence, which is, I'm just getting a flat, it's a sable flat. It's very small, and just wide enough for the fence. Decide where you want your fence to. So if you're going to do it here, that's just a bit of water. Get a bit of water on your brush, and then you can sketch it out sort of to get an idea where you want your fence post. See, I'm just getting an idea, and then we can go for it. There's my colors. What I do is I put my darks on one side and my lights on the other side, and It'd be also good if you put red, yellow, and blue, which is your primary colors, together. I was thinking about that after, but I have my white there. And then you could have your primary colors. And then you have your extra colors like brown and green next to it. And then black and white could go on the opposite side, just so that you use those for changing your values. So anyway, that's just something I thought I'd mention. So set them up any way you want. Keep the darks away from the lights if you can, so that they won't mix in too much. Like, see what I just did then when I was showing you? See, now the black is going in with the green, so I should separate a little further. Anyway, here we go. So let's put in our fence posts. So I'm just going to mix some, I'm just mixing a bit of brown with a bit of black. Just putting brown and black. And so I'm just going to touch where I think I want my post, and I'm just going to touch and pull down. That's it. Touch and pull down, okay? Touch and pull down. Good. Nice little fence post there. And now we're going to do another one. So let's just make a little crooked one if you want. You can have any kind of fence you want. Now, you don't have to do everything exactly the way I'm doing it. Because if you try to do it exactly the way I have it done, and you don't do it and it doesn't come out like mine, then you're going to be disappointed and think you can't paint. But what you need to do is just put in anything that you want. As long as you know what colors, just get used to what colors to use, and where the composition, if you like the composition, you can use that. But as for a fence post, you can certainly put in a different type of fence post. There's all kinds of them out there. So let's just put this simple little one in, just to make it easy. A little place for the little bird to sit. And you can have your bird sit on top of this fence post on there. You can have it over here. When you're doing your farm animals, make sure there's not a big bunch over here and then your bird here and your house, because that'll be off balance. Put the bird here, the house here, so the bigger items separated on either side. So now there's your fence post. So we'll lighten that up now in a little while. So now what I want you to do is get out a long liner brush, okay, like this. And what you're going to do is we're going to make these grasses for our flowers, all right? So that's all you have to do. So dip your brush into water and tap it off a little bit, but keep it wet. And just go into some yellow, pull through yellow, and green if you like. We'll go through different colors. And just pull up, pull up, pull up. Okay, and I'm just going to show you that in a second as soon as I get this ready for you, because I want you to be able to see it. All right, hopefully you can see this really good. Now, so we'll start wherever you want, doesn't matter. And we're going to do on the bottom, and we're going to do on the top. Okay, so you need lots of paint for this. You roll it through and you get lots of paint, and then you pull up, and pull it over so that it looks like it's falling over to the left and falling over to the right. If your paint won't come off, just put some water on your brush and tap it off a little bit so it's not dripping, okay? And then pull through again your colors and pull up, up, up. And you're going to need lots of these, so it might take a bit of patience. I could fast forward if I wanted to, just because I'm only doing the same thing over and over. But something I enjoy letting you see everything that I'm doing, because I make mistakes and then I can show you how to fix them. And like that one there is too big, right? So I'm just gonna go over that a little bit. So if I want to fix that, I can, if it's too thick, I can go into my green and a little bit of black just to darken it up, and I can go back over that and put some darks in there instead. You can have some darks in there too, because then that will bring out the light colors. Okay, so I'm just going to throw in some darks. I'm going to pull through some green and some brown. I'm going to pull through some, I need more water. See, you need lots of water. Don't want it to drip too much like that, right? So just tap it off. A bit of brown and a bit of green, and pull up. Pull up, pull up, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, straight up. Let's go through green and red and brown. Green, red, and brown. And just see what that does. Oh, that's nice. Let's go through some yellow now to mix in with that. Keep your brush dirty, because that way you'll get all kinds of colors. All right, if your paint won't move, just get some more water, and here we go. So just keep doing that. Good. Just keep putting on your grasses. You keep putting them on. The more you put on, the thicker it looks, and more realistic or prettier, whatever you want to call it. So let's get some more on here. As much as we can. Let's add some white to it this time. So keep adding some different colors. Some nice grass going on there. So let's put on some flowers. So you can have any kind of flowers you want. You can have sunflowers. You can have daisies, whatever you want down there. But I'm just going to show you a quick way to put on some quick flowers. So here we go. So let's get a flat, I'm trying to pronounce it, bristle. There we go. A flat bristle brush, and open up your, now this is for just tapping on your flowers, but if you want to make a daisy, or you want to make different types of flowers, then you can use different brushes. But for now, we're going to add some red to our brush. Red, a little bit of white, okay? And just tap, just one tap, just tap like that. Just one tap. Don't go and you know, this is for these kind of flowers, okay? So just tap, tap, tap. All right. Tap, tap. Now, we're not going to do all red flowers. We're going to do all colors, but I just want to show you tap. All right, so now say you want to add a bit of blue to that red if you want to, and then some white. You get different color flowers. There. It depends on how many flowers you want and what kind of flowers you want. Just put a few on. Just tap, just touch, and your brush will do all the work for you, okay? Your brush will do all the work. Just put a few little ones as if they're growing up around the fence. Maybe some bundled together. These little families of flowers. And some pure white will give you some nice bright ones that will stand out. Pure white. You can keep your brush dirty if you like. All right. And some little ones. If you're going to go with some little ones, just touch very gently. The more gentle you touch, the nicer you get. So that's a few flowers there. Like I said, I'm not going to. There we go. And some yellow flowers. Always nice yellow flowers. I just got pure yellow because my brush is dirty, so you can put some yellow flowers in there. Anything you want at all. And like I said, if you want to have a sunflower, you can put on a yellow, like say a sunflower. So let's just put that in there. Just tap around that. Just tap it so that it got a little bit of a shape there. And then you can take your back of your brush and you can put a brown in the center. A little bit of brown. Oops, sorry. My hand jerked over. Oh no. Okay, no big deal. I'll just put some yellow back on that in a minute. Alright, so then we'll just put some brown in the middle of that and just wipe it off. Don't need to do that. It's just when I'm doing a video. I'm trying to get this done for you. So you just do your little petals. So this is, I'd use this brush, a nice small round brush, if you want to do a sunflower. So you got some yellow. You can even put a little bit of white in there if you want. And make your sunflower as best you can, because I know they're kind of tiny. And then take the back of your brush and just dip it into some brown. And just make your little center. And then you can just dip it into a little bit of red and yellow. And give it some little tops here. Anyway, so you make your sunflower. You look up a sunflower and just make your little daisy. I'm sorry, your sunflower, whatever way you want. Sunflowers have a little bit of shadow in them, don't they? They have a little bit of I use a little bit of red and brown and orange, yellow, and make a few little shadows. But this video is about doing a farmhouse landscape, so I don't want to get too much into the flowers, right? But you know, you can also just, if you want to make a daisy, same thing. It's just putting in. You can put your center in first, put it in here, and then you can take your liner brush and take some white with a little bit of shadow color. It's probably a dirty brush now, and you can make some daisies. Just pull in these little lines, something like you did with your sunflower. So you know, just put in whatever kind of flowers you want. If you want a more realistic, you can use your small brush and make your flowers that way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the fence post, and then I'll finish that up. And you put your farm animals on, your little bird if you want to, like explained. And you just paint your bird blue and white, whatever color, because that's up to you what kind of bird you want on there. If you're having a problem with your putting a little bird on there, a little chickadee or a bluebird or whatever, if you have a problem, email me and I'll do another video on how to paint the bird. And I can either do it in this painting or I can do it separate. I'm planning on doing a video on farm animals, so I'll make them bigger so you can see them, because if I put them in there now you only see little dots. So I'm going to do that separately for you. But you go ahead, look up the farm animals, trace them out, or draw them freehand, and size them the way you want them. It's a bit of work, but that's the way it is when you're painting. You have to work hard for something that's good. So just a little bit of highlight on here and here and here. I'm just trying to figure out where the sun is. Make sure the sun is on the right coming in on your fence post. Now, if you make too much, you can drag on some more. And if you make too much, we'll just go back and put some of the darks in. I'm just scraping on some right now. Just scraping it on. Just scraping it on any old way because I want some highlights there. So I'm just going to go back with my black and brown. And I'm going to fill in then some of the spots that I want to cover up to make it look like old rough wood. Okay, that's it. Now I'll do the house last. I forgot about the house. Anything else, little touch-ups we need, we'll do that. Alright. So we'll just get that fence post back to normal. See how I didn't go over all the yellow? I scraped it on, made a bit of a mess, and now I'm going back and straightening up and cleaning up my edges. So make sure that you realize that just because you put on some paint, that means finished. You can go over this a dozen times, right? You want to get that rough look. What I'll probably do is do some videos on individual subjects, and that way I can concentrate mostly on just that subject. Like if I do old wood or an old house, just do only those subjects. And if there's any subjects that you would like to see me try and show you how to paint, use my tips and tricks and whatever I can think of, you can email me at allisonpryor@yahoo.com and let me know. Or you can make a comment on my video and say, well, you know, I really like for you to do a video on a fence post. Or, you know, I'm getting to as many as I can. I do have some people have already requested some videos, and I've done a lot of them, but I have to catch up, and then I'll still write yours down and get to them as soon as I can. I think individual, like fence posts or a tree or an apple or something, is a lot faster and easier. When you try to do a whole painting, you're trying to do it so that it doesn't take too much time, but yet there's a bit of work to it. And I want you guys to learn lots and lots and lots. Alright, so here we go. Now what we're going to do now is we are going to finish off our little house. So I'm just going to take a small flat brush, and as a bristle brush, you can use bristle or sable for this, and we're going to highlight that house. So all we need to do is get a bit of white paint on our brush, and we're going to scrape I'm wiping it off a little bit, so I don't want too much on there. And I'm going to scrape down, see where the bristles are rough, they'll give you that rough textured look on the front of the house. There we go. So that's that. That's simple. And then I'm going to take some black paint on my brush, and I'm going to make door. Touch and pull. There's your door. So if there's anything else that you want to do with the painting, there's tons of stuff you can do, obviously. I mean, I could go over these here again. I could put more flowers in. I could go over the fence posts with more paint. But like I said, I think I'm going to do that separately for you. I'm after spilling paint on my painting, so if you see anything there odd, it could be just a mistake. So I'm just going to take a little bit of yellow, and I'm just going to tap on where I made some mistakes here. Now, if I can get another video done on the farm animals and things, but I'm going to try to do that separately, like I said, and do them big enough so that you see it. If I put them in there now, it's just going to look like blobs. So take my tips that I told you about drawing them out and then tracing them. When you get a really good drawing, trace it out on your canvas here. And you can always go back and do highlights, do all kinds of things. We don't have a little path in there, I just noticed that. So the little path would be a little bit of brown and a little bit of red and a little bit of yellow. So let's just make brown, red, and yellow. And just scrape in a little tiny path. It's buried in the grass because this is really old. Nobody's been there for a long time. All right, so just put in a little path that nobody's been on in a long, long time. And if you fold it up, just take your brush and a little bit of green and yellow and tap on there so it looks like, oops, okay. So just take your brush and again, and a bit of yellow. It's probably where it's wet. It's picking up the brown. All right, so it's too green. Just pick up only yellow. Yellow, and tap it in to get your highlights back on there. A little bit of grass going down the side here. Getting on the path. The straight and narrow path. All right, so that's it. I think I'm going to leave that because there's lots more you can do. There's tons and tons of things you can do. But I'm just going to leave that for now. And you guys go ahead and try that painting. Make this one much nicer. Look at my other. Here we go. That's better. The skinnier lines. And a little bird. And some farm animals. So have a look at this picture. But don't try to get it exactly like mine, okay? Just do your own thing and have some fun. If you got any questions, give me a holler. So you guys have a great painting day, and I'll see you in the next video.